What is a dangling modifier, and why does it confuse sentences? Imagine reading a sentence that makes you scratch your head because it just doesn't seem to make sense. That's often caused by something called a dangling modifier. You might not have heard the term before, but you've probably seen sentences that leave you confused about who or what is doing what. A dangling modifier is a word or phrase that is meant to describe or give more information about a specific person, place, or thing in a sentence. But if the sentence doesn't clearly include that person or thing, the modifier is left hanging without a clear target. This can make the sentence seem strange or even funny, because it looks like the modifier is describing the wrong thing. For example, if you say, "Turning the corner, a handsome school building appeared," it sounds like the building is turning the corner. But what you really mean is that you are turning the corner and then the building appears. The phrase, "turning the corner," is supposed to tell us about the person who is turning, but since that person isn't mentioned, the sentence confuses the reader. Most dangling modifiers show up at the beginning of sentences as introductory phrases or clauses. They often start with words like walking, driving, or flying, which are participial phrases. When the subject that the phrase is supposed to describe isn't right after the phrase, the sentence becomes unclear. Why does this cause confusion? Because readers can't tell who or what the phrase is talking about. They might guess wrong or get lost trying to figure out the meaning. The modifier might seem to describe the wrong word or no word at all, which makes the sentence ambiguous or misleading. To fix a dangling modifier, you need to add the missing subject right after the phrase. For example, instead of saying, "Flying away into the trees, the hunter missed his shot," which makes it sound like the hunter is flying, you could say, "The bird was flying away into the trees, causing the hunter to miss his shot." Now, it's clear that the bird is flying, not the hunter. Remember, a modifier is a word or phrase that describes or gives more details about another part of the sentence. When that modifier doesn't have a clear subject, it's called a dangling modifier. This can make your sentences confusing because it's not obvious what the modifier is referring to. Most often, dangling modifiers happen at the start of sentences. Fixing them involves making sure the subject that the modifier describes is right next to it. This way, your sentences will be clearer and easier to understand. For example, if you say, "Walking through the park, I noticed the flowers were beautiful," it's clear that "I am walking through the park." Adding the subject, "I" right after the phrase removes the confusion and makes the sentence straightforward. Getting rid of dangling modifiers is a simple way to improve sentence clarity. It helps your readers understand exactly what you mean without having to guess or reread. When your modifiers are properly connected to their subjects, your writing becomes cleaner, more precise, and much easier to follow.